I don't know how we got here. 6 months. 180 days since my husband touched me with any kind of wanting, and now everyone looks at me like I broke something precious. Like I'm the one who threw us away. My name is Sarah. I'm 32 years old. I work in a bank counting money that isn't mine. Mark is 34. He builds houses. We've been married for 5 years. The house we live in, he built it for us, with his hands. That's the kind of man he is. Was. I don't know anymore. The last time he tried to kiss me like he meant it, I pushed him away. I told him he sexualizes me too much. Those were my words. I remember the sound of them in the kitchen. They were sharp like broken glass. He stopped. He stopped everything. Now I sleep next to a stranger who is polite. He makes coffee for two but doesn't ask how I take it anymore. He knows, but he doesn't ask. He does his laundry separate. He moves around me like I'm a piece of furniture that might break. And my sister says I should be happy. I got what I wanted, she says, but I never wanted this. Let me tell you how it was before. Mark loved me. Really loved me. From the day we met at my friend's barbecue, he looked at me like I was the only person in the yard. He listened when I talked about my boring job. He remembered my coffee order. And he wanted me. All the time. In the beginning, it felt like a movie. He would grab my waist while I cooked. He would kiss my neck when I was reading. He would look at me across a room full of people and I would feel it in my stomach. For 3 years it was good. I felt beautiful. I felt wanted. We had sex 6 months. That's how long it's been since my husband touched me. Not a kiss, not a hug, nothing. And everyone thinks I'm the monster. It started because I wanted respect. That's all. I wanted him to see me as a person, not a body. But now our friends look at me like I broke something precious. My sister stopped calling. His mother gives me these looks like I'm dirty. And him, he just lives here now, quiet, polite, like a roommate who hates me but pays the bills. I keep thinking about the last time. The real last time, not the fight, the time before that. He came up behind me while I was washing dishes, put his hands on my waist, kissed my neck, whispered something about how good I smell. And I felt it, that old feeling. The one that used to make me feel wanted. But that night it made me feel sick. I pushed him away. I said, can you just be normal for once? He stopped, said sorry, went to watch TV. I felt powerful. Finally I had said it. Finally he listened. But that was the last time. That was 6 months ago. We used to be good, really good. People said we were perfect. Married 8 years. Still holding hands at the grocery store. Still making each other laugh. Sex was fine, more than fine. It was good. But after a while it felt like that was all he wanted. Like he didn't see me anymore, just my body. It started small. He would grab my butt when I was cooking. I would laugh and push his hand away. He would try again later, always trying, always wanting. I told him I'm not in the mood. He would say okay, okay. But then the next day, same thing. I started keeping track. Monday he made a comment about my breasts while I was on a work call. Tuesday he sent me a text with the eggplant emoji. Wednesday he tried to touch me under the blanket while we watched a movie. Thursday he asked if I wanted to have some fun while I was putting our daughter to bed. Friday he looked at me in that way while I was getting dressed. Every day, every single day. Something. I talked to my friend Sarah about it. She said men are like that. They need it. You have to teach them. I talked to my sister. She said, at least he still wants you. My husband doesn't even look at me, but that didn't help. It made it worse. Like I was supposed to be grateful for being treated like a piece of meat. I started saying no more, direct, stop, don't, not now. He would listen for a day, then forget or pretend to forget. I would get dressed for work and he would whistle. I would bend down to pick up a toy and he would make a sound. I would walk past him and he would reach out. It felt like I was living in a cage. My own body was a cage. I couldn't move without him wanting something. I told him. I really told him. I said, you sexualize me too much. I'm your wife, not your porn star. He looked hurt. He said, I just think you're beautiful. I'm attracted to you. Isn't that good? No, it wasn't good. It was never good. Not when it was all the time. Not when I couldn't breathe without him wanting something. The night it happened, I was already angry. Work was bad. My boss yelled at me. My daughter threw a tantrum. The house was a mess. I was cleaning the kitchen at 10 p.m. He came in. He looked at me. That look. I knew that look. He was going to try something. He came up behind me, hands on my waist. I froze. He kissed my neck. I could feel his breath. He whispered, you smell so good. That was it. That was the last drop. The water was too full. I exploded. I spun around. I pushed him hard. He stepped back. His face was confused, like a dog that got hit and doesn't know why. I said it. I said everything. You're disgusting. Do you ever think about anything else? I'm tired. I'm working. I'm a mother. And all you see is a body. A thing to fuck. You make me feel dirty. You make me feel like nothing. Is that what you want? You want me to feel like nothing? His face changed. The confusion went away. Something else came. Something closed. Like a door shutting. He said, I'm sorry. I didn't know you felt that way. I said, well, now you do. He nodded. He walked out of the kitchen. He went to the bedroom. He closed the door. I heard the lock click. I felt good. I felt clean. I felt like I had finally won. The next morning he was already up. He had made coffee. He was sitting at the table, reading his phone. He looked up. He said, good morning. That was it. No hug, no kiss, no touch. I thought he was just giving me space, respecting my words. Good. That was what I wanted. Days passed. He still didn't touch me. He still didn't try. He was polite. He asked about my day. He helped with our daughter. He did the dishes, but his hands never reached for me. His eyes never looked at me that way. A week went by. I started to notice the silence. The empty space where his wanting used to be. It was quiet, too quiet. I thought about saying something, but I didn't. I had told him what I wanted. He was giving it to me. I should be happy. 2 weeks. I wore a new dress. He said, looks nice. Nothing else. No whistle, no sound, no hands. 3 weeks? I bent down to pick up something. He was there. He looked away. He walked to another room. 4 weeks. I got out of the shower. He was in the bedroom. He looked at his phone. He didn't look up. 5 weeks. I lay in bed next to him. The space between us was like a wall, a big, cold wall. I started to feel something. It was small at first, a little itch, a little voice. What if he never touches me again? I pushed it away. This was what I wanted, respect, not being sexualized. This was it, 6 weeks. I tried to touch his hand while we watched TV. He moved his hand to scratch his face. Accidental? No, it was too fast, too clean. 7 weeks. I asked, are you okay? He said, I'm fine. He smiled. But the smile didn't reach his eyes. The eyes were far away. 8 weeks. I wore the shirt he liked. The red one. The one he always said made me look beautiful. He didn't notice. Or pretended not to notice. 9 weeks. I started to panic. Really panic. I lay awake at night. Thinking, what did I do? What did I say? I called him disgusting. I said he made me feel dirty. I said he only saw me as a thing to fuck. But that was true, wasn't it? It was true. So why did I feel so bad? 10 weeks. I talked to Sarah. I said he hasn't touched me in 10 weeks. She said, well, you told him to stop. I said, but this is too much. She looked at me funny. You got what you wanted. 11 weeks. I tried to talk to him. Said, can we talk about us? He said, sure. We sat at the table. I said, I miss you. He said, I'm right here. I said, no, I miss us the way we were. He said, you said I sexualize you too much. I'm trying not to do that. I said, but you don't have to stop everything. You can still, be affectionate. He looked at me, really looked at me for the first time in weeks. His eyes were cold. I don't know where the line is. You drew a line. I'm staying behind it. 12 weeks. 3 months. Was going crazy. I started dreaming about him touching me. In the dreams, I would push him away. Then I would cry. I would wake up alone. He was sleeping on the couch now. He said it was better that way, so he wouldn't accidentally bother me. I started to hate myself. What was wrong with me? I told him to stop. He stopped. Why was I so unhappy? I talked to my sister. I said he doesn't want me anymore. She said, you told him you feel like a piece of meat. What did you think would happen? I said I thought he would respect me more. I thought he would see me. She said he saw you. He saw you every day. He wanted you. You told him that was wrong. I said, but he did it too much. She said maybe. But now he does it 0 and you're crying about it. She was right. I was crying all the time, for months. I tried to talk to him again. I said I'm sorry for what I said, for how I said it. He said thank you. I said, can we try again? Can you touch me again? He looked at me. His face was empty. I don't think that's a good idea. I said, why not? He said, because I don't want to make you feel dirty. I don't want to be disgusting. I said, you're not. I didn't mean it. He said, you meant it. You said it. You said it because you felt it. I can't unhear that. I started to cry. I said, please, I miss you. I miss us. He said, I miss us too. But I can't be the person who makes you feel like nothing. I won't be that person. He got up. He left the room. He left me crying. 5 months. I was desperate. I tried to be sexy. I bought new underwear. I wore it under my clothes. I walked past him. I bent down in front of him. I did all the things he used to love. He looked away. Every time I tried to kiss him, I leaned in. He turned his cheek. He said, don't. I said, why? He said, because it will lead to something I can't have. And I don't want to want what I can't have. I said, you can have it. I want you to have it. Said, no, you don't. You want me to want it. That's different. He was right. He was so right. It made me sick. 6 months. The wall was complete. He lived on one side. I lived on the other. We talked about our daughter. We talked about the bills. We talked about the weather. We didn't talk about us. There was no us. I found out he was sleeping in the guest room. He had moved his things. He said it was permanent. He said it was better this way. I said, are you leaving me? He said, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to be married without making you feel like a thing. I haven't found it yet. I said, we can go to therapy. He said, I've been going for 3 months. I said, you have? He said, yes. My therapist says I need to respect your boundaries, even if it hurts. Even if it means I lose you. I said, I don't want to be lost. He said, you already said you were. You said I made you feel like nothing. So I stopped. I stopped making you feel like nothing. Now you feel like nothing because I stopped. I can't win, and I'm tired of losing. That was the most he had said in months. It was also the last real thing he said to me. I talked to Sarah again. I told her everything. I said, he won't touch me. He won't look at me. He says he's respecting my boundaries. She said, and you're mad? I said, yes, I'm mad. I'm lonely. I miss him. She said, you told him he disgusted you. You told him he made you feel dirty. You told him to stop. He stopped. What did you expect? I said, I expected him to love me. She said, love you how? By wanting you, or by not wanting you? You can't have both. I said, I want him to want me, but on my terms. She said, that's not love, that's control. She was right. I knew she was right, but I couldn't say it out loud. I couldn't say I was wrong, because I still felt like I was right. I still felt like he had done it too much. I still felt like my feelings were valid, but my feelings had led me here. To this empty house, to this empty bed, to this man who lives with me but doesn't see me, because I told him not to. I found the papers last week. Divorce papers, he had them in his bag. He wasn't going to show me yet, he was waiting. For what? For me to say something, for me to fix it. For me to admit I was wrong. I took them out. I looked at them. They were real. They had his signature. He had already signed. He was just waiting for me. I cried for hours. I thought about our daughter. I thought about our house. I thought about our life. I thought about his hands on my waist, his lips on my neck, his voice whispering that I smelled good. I wanted it back, all of it, even the parts that bothered me, even the parts that made me feel like a piece of meat, because being a piece of meat he wanted was better than being a ghost he ignored. I went to him. I found him in the guest room. He was reading. He looked up. He saw my face. He saw I had been crying. He didn't ask why. I said, I saw the papers. He nodded. He didn't say sorry. He didn't say anything. I said, is this what you want? He said, it's not about what I want. It's about what is. I said, what is? He said, you don't want me to want you. And I can't stop wanting you, so I have to stop being around you. I said, but I do want you to want me. I do. He said, no, you don't. You want me to want you in a way that doesn't exist. You want me to read your mind. To know when it's okay and when it's not. To be perfect. I'm not perfect. I mess up. I try too much. I don't try enough. I can't win, and I'm tired. I said, I'll change. I'll be better. I'll tell you when it's okay. He said, you already did. You told me it's never okay. You told me I disgust you. That's not something you forget. That's not something you come back from. I said, people say things when they're angry. He said, they say the truth when they're angry. The truth is, you think I'm disgusting. You think I'm a pervert. You think I make you feel like nothing. Why would I want to touch someone who thinks that? Why would I want to be with someone who feels that way about me? I had no answer because he was right. I had said those things. I had felt those things. I had meant them. In that moment, I had meant every word. But I didn't mean them forever. I just meant them then. How was he supposed to know the difference? He said, I think you should sign the papers. It's better for both of us. You can find someone who doesn't disgust you. I can find someone who doesn't make me feel like a monster for wanting them. I said, I don't want someone else. He said, I don't want someone else either. But I can't be this. I can't be the man who makes his wife feel like nothing. I can't live in a house where my desire is disgusting. I can't sleep next to someone who flinches when I look at them. I said, I don't flinch. He said, you did. Every time, for months, you just didn't see it, but I did. He was right. I had flinched. I had pulled away. I had made faces. I had sighed. I had rolled my eyes. I had made him feel small. I had made him feel ashamed. I had made him feel like his love was wrong. I had done that, me, not him. I had turned his love into something dirty. And now I was paying for it. Now I was the ghost. Now I was the one who lived in a house with a man who wouldn't touch me. Now I was the one who felt like nothing. I had gotten exactly what I asked for, and it was hell. Yesterday, I signed the papers. He wasn't home. I left them on the kitchen table. I took our daughter to my sister's house. When I came back, the papers were gone. His car was gone. Some of his clothes were gone. He texted me. He said, thank you. I'll pick up the rest next week. We can tell our daughter together. That was it. No emotion, no anger, no sadness, just polite, just clean, just done. I sat in the empty house. I walked to our bedroom, my bedroom now. I lay on the bed. I thought about his hands. I thought about his lips. I thought about the way he used to look at me. Like I was the most beautiful thing in the world. I had hated that look. I had hated it because it made me feel like I was only that look. Like I was only beautiful. Like I was only wanted. But now I would give anything to have it back. To have him look at me that way, to have him touch me, to have him want me. I had told him he sexualized me too much. Now he doesn't sexualize me at all. Now he doesn't see me at all. Now I'm invisible, and I'm the bad guy, because I'm the bad guy who got what she wanted and destroyed everything. I keep thinking about that night. The kitchen, the dishes, The way he whispered that I smelled good, if I could go back, if I could just go back, I would turn around, I would kiss him. I would say, I love you too, but I can't. Time doesn't go back, words don't unstick. You can't tell a man he's disgusting and then ask him to love you. You can't have it both ways. You can't want someone to want you and hate them for wanting you. I know that now. Now that it's too late, now that he's gone, now that I'm alone in a house that smells like him but doesn't have him. I still think I was right about some of it. He did do it too much. He did make me feel like a body sometimes. He did cross lines, but I was wrong about how I said it. I was wrong about making him feel like a monster. I was wrong about thinking I could control how he loved me. I wanted him to love me the right way, my way, but love doesn't work like that. Love is messy. Love is too much sometimes. Love is wanting someone even when they're bending over to pick up a toy. Love is stupid and clumsy and human. I told him to stop being human, so he did. He stopped. He became a ghost. He became perfect. Perfectly absent. Perfectly respectful, perfectly gone, and now I live in a perfect hell, a hell where no one touches me, no one wants me, no one looks at me like I'm beautiful. I said he sexualizes me too much. Now he hasn't initiated anything for 6 months, and I'm the bad guy because I'm the bad guy who won the battle and lost the war, who got what she asked for and lost everything she wanted. I'm the bad guy, and I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to say sorry enough. I don't know how to make him see that I didn't mean it. That I was just tired, that I was just angry, that I was just human, but he's not here to hear it. He's gone, he's moved on, he's respecting my boundaries, all of them, even the ones I didn't mean to set, even the ones that build a wall between us, even the ones that end a marriage. 6 months. That's how long it takes to lose everything. 6 months of getting exactly what you asked for. The bad guy and the bad guy lives alone. The bad guy sleeps alone. The bad guy cries alone. The bad guy got what she wanted and it ruined her. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to end this story, because it's not a story, it's my life. And my life is a cautionary tale. A tale that says be careful what you wish for, be careful how you say it, be careful who you make the monster, because the monster might just leave. And you might realize the monster was the only one who loved you. 6 months? That's all it took. 6 months of silence. 6 months of respect, 6 months of nothing. I said he sexualizes me too much. Now he doesn't sexualize me at all, and I'm the bad guy who won, and winning feels like dying. I don't know what happens next. I don't know how to live in this world I made. I just know I would give anything to go back, to take it back, to have his hands on my waist again, to hear him whisper that I smell good, but I can't. And he won't, and we're done. That's the story, that's the truth, that's the end. I'm the bad guy.